Young and the Restless. Phyllis, Nick, Audra in steamy couple swaps and twists. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a nice day before we begin the video. Please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. Young and the Restless sees some romantic twists coming for Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver, and others. And the action kicks off at Aristotle Dumas, Billy Flynn, Chateau in France. We could be looking at couple swaps, plus some hot new romances. Young and the Restless spoilers, romantic entanglements in France. Starting this week, we've got all those power players in the south of France eager to find out who is Aristotle Dumas really, and what does he want with all of them. But the party is also the backdrop for some romantic entanglements that are kicking off. By the time this party is over, we may see some old flames reignite, partner swaps, and a fresh new romance. Maybe more than one. Phyllis and Nick, a potential reboot? So, the first couple we gotta talk about that has potential for a reboot is Phyllis and Nick. Although he brought Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, to his mom's party and to this event in France in the latest promo and on the Thursday US episode, we've got Phyllis in Nick's arms, and it's because she's freaking out in the maze and he calms her down. She's doing a little Phyllis's spiral. Sharon sees them embracing. She seems jealous and she's eavesdropping, and then she butts in and basically kind of breaks it up in a way. You know, they had stopped embracing and were talking, but I think Sharon kind of inserted herself to make sure nothing more could happen. She is definitely blocking things that might have potential. It's kind of interesting that it's Nick that's calming down Phyllis by holding her close, because Nick told Sharon he wanted her there on the trip as a calming influence for him. New romances and mystery men. What's next for Phyllis? Meanwhile, we heard from showrunner Josh Griffith that Phyllis has a hot new romance coming, but they didn't say whether it was with a new partner or a reboot. So, it could be Nick with Phyllis, since she is drawn to him. However, Josh Griffith has also teased a Sharon and Nick romance because he said they connect on this trip to France. And of course, Sharon's a smitten kitten. She wants Nick really bad. And that means Phyllis may be getting with somebody else. And another possibility for her is the mystery man, Dumas himself. The showrunner said that Phyllis wins at love and business for a change. So maybe it's a combo of both with our mystery man. Is Dumas really Kane Ashby? Exploring potential plot twists. And of course, if Dumas is really Kane Ashby, formerly Daniel Goddard, might be back to pursue Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil, but I cannot imagine her being interested in him. Kane did Lily dirty in the past. And right now, his son Sam Ashby should be 7. He was born November 2017, and we've not seen him since he was itty-bitty. So, they could be doing him at any age or anything like that. And if you remember, Kane cheated on Lily with a business associate who later died. Kane was drunk. He didn't remember doing the deed with her. And then she turned up pregnant, and then she died in childbirth. She wasn't important. She's not around. Obviously, she passed away and wasn't on for that long. Plus, this whole mystery thing is really annoying Lily. So, if it is Kane, that's probably one more strike against him where Lily is concerned. And this week, Dumas mentions that he has to call her and check in with her. If it is Kane, then I would be guessing might be Jill Abbott, Jess Walton. You know, the woman that he considers his mom. So, if Dumas is Kane and Lily rejects him, then he may decide to make trouble with Phyllis, and they partner up to stir the pot, then wind up getting involved romantically as well. And if he is Kane, him and Phyllis together would be insanely problematic for the residents of Genoa City. Audra and Kyle, a budding romance or a calculated scheme. Another potential swap of couples on Young and the Restless has to do with Audra and Kyle Abbott, Michael Mueller. They are also getting closer in France as she tries to split him and Claire Grace Newman, Haley Aaron. And already this week, Audra got Kyle to sniff her neck and to try her new fragrance, not just sniffing it randomly. And the showrunner also mentioned that Audra has some old feelings bubble up soon of a romantic nature. So, she's trying to trick Kyle so she can break him and Claire up so Victor Newman, Eric Braden, will hopefully give her the rest of the seed money for her new company, Vibrante. But it may blow up in Audra's face. And if she winds up catching feelings for Kyle again, that could kind of ruin everything. But since the showrunner didn't say who she caught old feelings for, it could also be about Holden Novak, Nathan Owens, who is another ex of hers. To me, it feels likelier that Audra catches some feels for Kyle because she seems to be disturbed whenever Holden is around. He stresses her out. I don't think Audra wants to revisit what they had because she said Holden was dangerous and intense, and she just doesn't seem like a fan. Potential couple swaps. Audra, Kyle, Claire, and Holden. However, I fully think Audra may lose Nate Hastings, Sean Dominic, pretty soon. So it could be either Kyle or Holden that is part of a couple swap with Audra. And if she pulls it off and breaks up Claire and Kyle, we could actually see Holden and Claire sparking because if Kyle falls for Audra's scheme, whether or not they reunite, then Claire would be heartbroken and furious. The head writer hinted she may go dark again, which would be interesting. Right now, Claire is sweet and kind, but not too long ago, she was murderous and vengeful and tried to kill all the Newmans. So, if Kyle and Audra hurt Claire, she and Holden might get together and make trouble for those two and others for payback, like Victor since he's the one starting it all. And they keep putting Claire with Holden in scenes for some reason. I feel like, not for nothing, right? And it seems inevitable that Audra's going to lose Nate over her lies and scheming. And so, it could be also a fun option if Phyllis's new love was Nate. That would be at least something new for Young and the Restless. So we have to entertain the what-if possibility. We could also see Nate with Amanda Sinclair, Miss Hale Morgan, if she sticks around a while. Although, I think it'd be awkward because Amanda is the ex of Devin Hamilton, Brighton James, Nate's cousin, which is already an awkward situation because Devin and Abby Newman, Melissa Ordway, were cheating on Amanda and Chance Chancellor, Connor Floyd, a few years ago. Plus, Devin's married to Abby. So, messy. Heart-coded couples and potential romantic shifts on Young and the Restless. I do think we're looking at splits for Audra and Nate. Likely also for Claire and Kyle at least for a while, if not forever. I do think there are a few couples that are hard-coded to stay together like Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman and Diane Jenkins, Susan Walters. Like Danny Romalotti, Michael Damian, and Christine Cricket Blair, Laura Lee Bell, Chelsea Lawson Newman, Melissa Claire Egan, and Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, seem really solid. Now, of course, they're both worried about the wrath of Victor when he finds out they haven't run. These anti-Billy articles. Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, and Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson seem solid, but we have to at least acknowledge that there is a possibility that Phyllis gets in between them and Billy's her new romance. But I just don't feel like it. Sally's actually, I think, got staying power with Billy because she reins him in without really holding him back and Billy does seem really into her, but they're not head over heels in love. So, I won't say they're one of the hard-coded long-term couples, but I don't see a fracture there. Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, and Victor seem fine. Abby and Devin seem fine. And of course, Danny's about to propose to Christine, so that's a huge deal. But aside from these couples, I think are solid. I think we might see quite a few romantic shifts and it could really shake things up. We'll see what happens. But this week, things start moving on Young and the Restless. The upcoming weeks on the Young and the Restless promise some of the most jaw-dropping, scandalous, and emotionally charged drama in Genoa City history as early spoilers reveal a whirlwind of steamy couple swaps, shocking alliances, and unexpected twists involving Phyllis, Nick, and Audra. Romance, jealousy, and secrets collide as these central characters navigate a web of desire and deception that threatens to upend relationships and loyalties across the city. Viewers are in for a roller coaster of passion, betrayal, and shocking emotional confrontations that will leave fans questioning who will end up with whom, and who will be left reeling from heartbreak. Phyllis has always been a character who knows what she wants, but recent developments reveal a more daring, impulsive side that's ready to challenge the boundaries of love and loyalty. Early spoilers hint that she is growing increasingly restless in her current relationship, craving excitement and intimacy that seems just out of reach. This longing draws her dangerously close to the unlikeliest of people, Nick Newman. Their chemistry, long simmering under the surface, reignites in ways that are impossible to ignore. Sparks fly when circumstances force them into close proximity, and viewers can expect tension so thick it practically radiates from the screen. Nick, for his part, is grappling with conflicting emotions. On one hand, he remains committed to his current relationship with Audra, whose loyalty and affection have been a source of stability in his turbulent life. On the other hand, the undeniable attraction he feels toward Phyllis stirs memories of past romances, unresolved feelings, and a deep-seated desire that refuses to be ignored. Early spoilers suggest Nick will be caught in a precarious emotional tug-of-war, torn between the comfort of familiarity and the thrill of a forbidden connection. Audra, meanwhile, is poised to play a pivotal role in this unfolding drama. Far from being a passive observer, she begins to sense the growing tension between Phyllis and Nick. Her instincts tell her that something is amiss, and she starts noticing subtle changes in Nick's behavior. Audra's keen perception sets the stage for dramatic confrontations, emotional showdowns, and steamy scenes that reveal hidden desires and fractured trust. Her intelligence, emotional depth, and determination to protect her relationship will make her a formidable force, ensuring that the coming entanglements are anything but simple. As the week unfolds, viewers can expect a dizzying series of near misses, stolen glances, and charged encounters. Phyllis and Nick are thrown together in situations that test their self-control, each moment heightening the emotional and romantic tension. From intimate conversations that verge on confession to accidental touches that spark undeniable chemistry, the stakes grow higher with every scene. The palpable sexual tension between them becomes impossible to ignore, creating a dynamic that threatens to unravel the lives of everyone involved. Audra, aware that something is brewing, begins taking subtle steps to protect her relationship while simultaneously trying to uncover the truth. She confronts Nick about his behavior, sparking conversations that are at once tender, accusatory, and tinged with unspoken desire. These emotionally charged interactions reveal both vulnerability and strength, showing viewers a side of Audra that is fiercely loyal yet deeply human. The dramatic tension between Audra's intuition and Nick's conflicted heart drives the storyline, ensuring that every moment is fraught with suspense and anticipation. Meanwhile, Phyllis employs her own brand of cunning and charm, knowing that her presence in Nick's life is creating ripples she cannot entirely control. She walks a fine line, alternating between moments of vulnerability that reveal her true feelings and bold maneuvers designed to test the limits of Nick's loyalty. Each interaction between Phyllis and Nick deepens the intrigue, leaving audiences on the edge of their seats as the potential consequences of their growing connection loom ever larger. Complicating matters further, friends, family, and colleagues begin to notice the tension, adding layers of pressure and intrigue. Secrets that were once safely hidden begin to surface, creating ripple effects that threaten multiple relationships. Viewers can expect unexpected alliances, whispered conversations, and dramatic confrontations as the emotional fallout from these romantic entanglements spreads across Genoa City. Every glance, every word, and every decision carries the potential to ignite explosive drama. The couple swap twists don't stop at just emotional entanglements. Early spoilers suggest that physical attraction escalates in ways that will shock fans. Scenes of stolen kisses, heated arguments that end in near-intimate moments, and passionate confrontations highlight the combustible mix of desire, betrayal, and temptation. These moments push boundaries, testing characters' moral limits while amplifying the stakes of the unfolding drama. Audra's growing awareness of the simmering connection between Phyllis and Nick forces her to make difficult choices about trust, communication, and her own desires. As tension builds, viewers can also expect layered storytelling that explores not only romantic entanglements, but the broader emotional consequences of these choices. Friendships are tested, loyalties strained, and reputations jeopardized as the drama spreads beyond the central love triangle. Genoa City becomes a powder keg of emotions, with every character caught in the reverberations of the steamy couple swaps. This is a storyline that blends passion, suspense, and character-driven drama, delivering intense moments that are both compelling and unpredictable. The week's most shocking twists center on an unexpected confession. One night, after a tense argument and a charged moment of vulnerability, Phyllis reveals feelings she has long hidden, catching Nick off guard. This confession ignites a chain reaction, forcing Nick to confront his own desires and reconsider his relationship with Audra. Audra, sensing the shift, makes her own bold move, confronting Phyllis directly in a dramatic scene that blends confrontation, emotion, and unspoken tension. The outcome of this exchange sets the stage for even more explosive developments, leaving viewers questioning how the triangle will evolve in the days to come. Secondary characters get pulled into the whirlwind of romantic intrigue. Friends and family members weigh in, offering advice, gossiping, and occasionally misdirecting the main players. These interactions add layers of complexity, showing how gossip, perception, and social dynamics influence the personal choices of Phyllis, Nick, and Audra. Every small interaction can spark new jealousy, reignite old feelings, or create new rivalries, ensuring that Genoa City remains a hotbed of tension and drama. The tension escalates toward the week's climax as Phyllis and Nick find themselves alone in a high-stakes, emotionally charged moment. Early spoilers hint that their connection may cross a line, forcing both characters to confront the reality of their desires. At the same time, Audra, who has been quietly observing, decides it's time to take control of her own destiny. She sets plans into motion that are clever, assertive, and designed to protect both her heart and her relationship. These parallel storylines converge in dramatic fashion, leading to a finale filled with surprises, emotional outbursts, and the promise of even more twists to come. By the end of the week, the trio's relationships have shifted dramatically. Lines are blurred between friendship and romance, loyalty and temptation, love and betrayal. Phyllis, Nick, and Audra each face consequences that test their integrity, emotional resilience, and willingness to fight for what they truly desire. Genoa City is left buzzing with speculation as viewers eagerly await the next chapter in one of the most scandalous and steamy storylines of the year. The week closes on a cliffhanger that promises even more drama. Will Nick make a choice between desire and duty? Will Audra assert herself in a way that changes the romantic landscape forever? And will Phyllis risk everything for a chance at passion? Early spoilers tease that the answers will come in shocking, emotionally charged ways, ensuring that viewers remain glued to their screens as The Young and the Restless delivers another unforgettable week of romance, intrigue, and high-stakes drama. The tension in Genoa City reaches a fever pitch as Phyllis, Nick, and Audra are pulled into a web of desire, deception, and emotional games that threatens to upend everything they've known about love and loyalty. Following the week's shocking confessions, the trio finds themselves navigating a series of secret encounters, whispered conversations, and stolen moments that fan the flames of temptation. The chemistry between Phyllis and Nick grows undeniable, and their interactions are increasingly charged with longing, hesitation, and the thrill of forbidden connection. Audra, fully aware that something is brewing between her partner and Phyllis, becomes a force to be reckoned with. Far from passive, she carefully observes, strategically planning her moves while also confronting the emotional turmoil that Nick's divided attention creates. Scenes this week are fraught with tension as Audra demands clarity, yet her questions often provoke unexpected reactions, highlighting Nick's internal struggle and the magnetic pull he feels toward Phyllis. Every glance, touch, and conversation escalates the suspense, keeping viewers on edge. Phyllis continues to push boundaries, blending vulnerability and calculated seduction in ways that captivate Nick while simultaneously fueling Audra's suspicions. Her moments of confession, quiet admissions of longing, subtle gestures of intimacy, test Nick's resolve and reveal layers of desire that he thought he had buried. Early spoilers hint at several private, emotionally intense encounters that border on the edge of scandal, hinting at decisions that could have permanent repercussions for everyone involved. Nick's turmoil reaches a critical point as he is forced to confront the consequences of his divided heart. On one hand, he is drawn to the thrill, passion, and history he shares with Phyllis. On the other, he values stability, trust, and the love Audra has offered. Each encounter with Phyllis intensifies the internal conflict, while Audra's perceptiveness forces him to face uncomfortable truths about his desires and loyalties. The dramatic tension between duty and temptation forms the emotional core of the storyline, leaving viewers captivated by every twist and turn. Audra, refusing to be sidelined, takes bold steps to assert herself and challenge both Phyllis and Nick. She confronts Phyllis directly, sparking an explosive showdown filled with raw emotion, accusations, and unspoken desires. This confrontation is a pivotal moment, highlighting Audra's strength and resolve while also setting the stage for a dramatic escalation of the love triangle. The intensity of the scene ensures that viewers will be talking about it long after it airs, as emotions run high and boundaries are tested. Meanwhile, secondary characters and friends notice the growing tension, adding layers of intrigue and commentary that amplify the stakes. Rumors circulate, allies are questioned, and the social dynamics of Genoa City come alive as everyone reacts to the unfolding drama. These external pressures magnify the internal conflicts, ensuring that no moment is private, no secret entirely safe, and no decision without consequence. The week's storyline is punctuated by several steamy, intimate moments between Phyllis and Nick, each one blurring the line between desire and betrayal. These encounters are charged with longing, hesitation, and the thrill of secrecy, keeping viewers on the edge of their seats. Audra's increasing awareness adds tension and urgency, forcing all three characters into high-stakes emotional territory where every choice matters. Early spoilers tease that one particularly heated scene will have lasting repercussions, as a near-intimate moment between Phyllis and Nick is narrowly interrupted, creating suspense, jealousy, and unexpected consequences. This moment acts as a catalyst, setting off a chain of events that will affect relationships, trust, and alliances for weeks to come. Viewers can expect confrontations, reconciliations, and betrayals that continue to escalate the drama. By the end of the week, Phyllis, Nick, and Audra are left navigating a landscape of passion, temptation, and fractured trust. The love triangle has shifted into uncharted territory, leaving fans eager to see who will make bold moves, who will falter under pressure, and who will emerge victorious or heartbroken. Genoa City is alive with intrigue, as the emotional stakes continue to rise and every character is forced to confront the consequences of desire, loyalty, and the choices that define their lives. The cliffhanger for this week promises that nothing will remain stable for long. Viewers can anticipate secret rendezvous, shocking revelations, and intense confrontations that will challenge Phyllis, Nick, and Audra in ways no one expected. The combination of passion, strategy, and emotional stakes ensures that the coming weeks will be some of the most talked about in the Young and the Restless history. The drama in Genoa City intensifies as the love triangle between Phyllis, Nick, and Audra reaches new heights, with emotions running hotter than ever and loyalties being tested at every turn. Early spoilers reveal that a shocking betrayal is about to unfold, threatening to upend all three of their lives. Phyllis and Nick, originally intended to clear the air, takes a dangerous turn when lingering passion ignites into a moment of undeniable intimacy. The near crossing of boundaries sends shockwaves through the story, setting the stage for explosive confrontations and heart-stopping drama. Audra, still unaware of just how close Phyllis and Nick are coming, begins to notice subtle changes in Nick's behavior. The small things, glances held a little too long, guarded responses, and moments of distraction, signal that something is brewing beneath the surface. Her intuition, always sharp, compels her to investigate discreetly, and viewers can expect tense sequences where Audra quietly pieces together the truth, heightening the suspense with each scene. Phyllis, emboldened by the intensity of her connection with Nick, starts taking calculated risks. She engineers opportunities to be alone with him, each interaction more charged than the last. Early spoilers suggest that one of these encounters will take place in a highly public setting, creating the potential for scandal and dramatic fallout. Her ability to balance charm, seduction, and strategy makes her a formidable player in the game of desire, ensuring that every step she takes keeps viewers on edge. Nick, caught in the middle, struggles to maintain his composure. Torn between his lingering feelings for Phyllis and his loyalty to Audra, he experiences a whirlwind of desire, guilt, and internal conflict. Each stolen glance or subtle touch pushes him closer to a decision that could have irreversible consequences. Early spoilers hint that Nick will be forced to confront his emotions head-on, facing the reality of what he truly wants and the potential cost of pursuing it. Audra's discovery of the growing connection between Phyllis and Nick sets the stage for one of the most dramatic confrontations of the season. She confronts Nick directly, leading to a tense and emotionally charged exchange filled with raw emotion, accusations, and glimpses of vulnerability. The intensity of the confrontation forces Nick to make difficult choices, while Audra's assertiveness and emotional intelligence position her as a key player in the unfolding drama. The storyline also explores the ripple effects on the broader Genoa City's social circle. Friends, family, and colleagues begin to pick up on the tension, creating additional pressure and complicating the love triangle even further. Gossip spreads, alliances shift, and the characters must navigate the consequences of their desires under the watchful eyes of the city. Every decision, every interaction, and every secret threatens to ignite new drama, ensuring that no character remains untouched by the fallout. As the week progresses, viewers can expect a particularly shocking twist. Phyllis's carefully constructed plan to test Nick's loyalty backfires in an unexpected way. The moment of near intimacy is accidentally witnessed by a third party, someone whose knowledge could dramatically change the balance of power in the love triangle. This revelation sends shockwaves through the storyline, creating immediate tension, distrust, and uncertainty. The consequences of this exposure promise to dominate conversations among fans and characters alike. Audra's reaction to the unfolding scandal adds further complexity to the story. She must navigate her emotions, process the betrayal she senses, and make strategic choices about how to protect her relationship with Nick while asserting her own agency. Early spoilers suggest that she will take bold action that surprises both Phyllis and Nick, signaling that she is not a passive participant in this drama and raising the stakes for everyone involved. Meanwhile, Phyllis's maneuvers become increasingly daring. She flirts, confesses, and tempts, all while maintaining an air of sophistication that keeps Nick off balance and Audra on high alert. Her strategic play blurs the line between calculated seduction and genuine emotion, creating a storyline filled with suspense, romantic tension, and moral ambiguity. Viewers are left questioning her ultimate intentions. Is she driven by passion, ambition, or the thrill of chaos itself? The week builds to a dramatic climax with a confrontation that no one will forget. Audra, Phyllis, and Nick find themselves in the same space, tension thick in the air, secrets threatening to spill, and emotions at a breaking point. Words are exchanged, truths are revealed, and desires collide, leaving all three characters and the viewers reeling. Early spoilers suggest that this confrontation will leave lasting consequences, setting the stage for even more intense drama in the coming weeks. By the end of this page part, the love triangle has evolved into a high-stakes game of passion, loyalty, and deception. The emotional landscape is more complicated than ever, with each character forced to navigate desire, betrayal, and the consequences of their choices. Genoa City itself becomes a pressure cooker of scandal, romance, and intrigue as Phyllis, Nick, and Audra continue to push boundaries, challenge loyalties, and test the limits of love. The cliffhanger for this week teases explosive revelations. Who will make the first move? Who will be left heartbroken? And what will be the ultimate cost of forbidden desire in a city where nothing stays hidden for long? Fans are guaranteed a week of drama, seduction, and shocking twists that will keep them glued to the screen. The tension in Genoa City reaches an almost unbearable level as Phyllis, Nick, and Audra navigate a maze of temptation, secrecy, and emotional conflict. Early spoilers reveal that the next wave of drama centers around a series of clandestine encounters that test the limits of trust, loyalty, and desire. Phyllis and Nick, unable to resist the magnetic pull between them, find themselves stealing moments of intimacy in hidden corners, late-night meetings, and unexpected settings that fuel both passion and guilt. Each encounter escalates the stakes, creating an electrifying atmosphere filled with longing and tension. Audra, determined not to be blindsided, intensifies her vigilance. Her keen instincts begin to pick up on subtle cues, slightly delayed responses, cryptic text messages, and nervous body language that suggest something is happening behind her back. Audra's growing suspicion sets the stage for a series of confrontations that are equal parts dramatic and emotional. Her approach is both strategic and heartfelt, showcasing her depth of character as she balances love, intuition, and the need for answers. Phyllis, sensing Audra's awareness, begins to employ even bolder tactics. She teases, flirts, and subtly manipulates situations to keep Nick's attention squarely on her. Each interaction is charged with tension, blending desire with psychological intrigue. Early spoilers hint that a private dinner or seemingly innocent encounter will turn into a moment of near intimacy that shocks viewers, revealing just how dangerous the attraction between Phyllis and Nick has become. Nick's internal struggle becomes even more pronounced. He is torn between the excitement of forbidden passion with Phyllis and the loyalty and emotional connection he shares with Audra. Every stolen glance, whispered word, and brush of hands intensifies the conflict. Early spoilers indicate that Nick may soon face a pivotal decision, one that could redefine his relationships and alter the romantic dynamics in Genoa City permanently. Refusing to be a passive participant, takes decisive action. She confronts both Phyllis and Nick in a series of emotionally charged scenes that reveal hidden feelings, unspoken grievances, and raw vulnerability. These confrontations force all three characters to reckon with their desires, their loyalties, and the potential consequences of their choices. The emotional intensity is heightened by the sense that one wrong move could tip the delicate balance of power, trust, and love. Complicating the situation further, secondary characters begin to notice the growing tension. Friends, colleagues, and even casual acquaintances whisper, speculate, and offer advice, creating an atmosphere charged with anticipation and suspense. These external pressures add layers of complexity, ensuring that every interaction among Phyllis, Nick, and Audra carries additional weight. The watchful eyes of Genoa City increase the stakes, making secrecy, strategy, and discretion essential in this high-tension love triangle. As the week progresses, early spoilers hint at a shocking couple swap twist that will leave viewers reeling. A chance encounter, a misinterpreted gesture, or a strategically placed misunderstanding could create a scenario where roles, relationships, and romantic alliances shift dramatically. This twist promises to disrupt the status quo, forcing each character to confront not only their desires, but also the fallout of their choices. The stage is set for explosive confrontations, emotional outbursts, and shocking reversals that keep audiences on the edge of their seats. Phyllis, always one step ahead, prepares for this turning point with a mix of cunning and vulnerability. She leverages every opportunity to test boundaries and gauge Nick's response, while simultaneously challenging Audra's perception of loyalty and trust. Early spoilers suggest that a key scene will feature an emotionally charged dialogue between Phyllis and Audra, heightening tension, jealousy, and anticipation in ways that are both compelling and shocking. Meanwhile, Nick is caught in the eye of the storm. Every decision carries immense consequences, and the pressure to act wisely, or risk losing both women, mounts with each passing day. His struggle between desire, loyalty, and self-preservation forms the emotional core of the storyline, keeping viewers deeply invested in his choices and the unfolding drama. Audra, demonstrating resilience and intelligence, begins to counter Phyllis's manipulations with her own strategic maneuvers. She leverages knowledge, observation, and timing to maintain control over the situation, turning moments of tension into opportunities for insight and advantage. Her efforts highlight her strength and depth, proving that she is not merely reacting but actively shaping the trajectory of the storyline. The week builds toward a dramatic climax as a secret rendezvous between Phyllis and Nick threatens to spill into the open. Audra's confrontation looms, promising a series of explosive revelations, emotional showdowns, and high-stakes decisions that could redefine the love triangle forever. Early spoilers tease that this climax will feature intense dialogue, charged emotions, and the kind of shocking moments that fans of the young and the restless live for. By the end of this page, the trio's relationships have shifted in subtle yet profound ways. Loyalties are tested, passions are ignited, and the boundaries between love, temptation, and betrayal are blurred. Genoa City itself feels the reverberations, with whispers, speculation, and mounting suspense ensuring that every character is caught in the ripple effects of the escalating drama. The cliffhanger promises one of the most talked-about moments of the season. Will Phyllis and Nick finally cross the line? Will Audra's instincts save her relationship, or will temptation and desire prevail? And how will the city react when secrets inevitably come to light? Fans are guaranteed weeks of suspense, scandal, and steamy drama that will keep them glued to their screens. The simmering tension between Phyllis, Nick, and Audra finally reaches a boiling point in Genoa City as early spoilers hint at a scandalous sequence of events that will leave viewers gasping. What starts as a secret rendezvous between Phyllis and Nick quickly threatens to spiral out of control. Alone in a quiet, dimly lit location, the chemistry between them becomes impossible to ignore. Each glance, touch, and word carries unspoken desire, and the emotional intensity threatens to shatter boundaries. This private moment, intended to be discreet, sets the stage for one of the most shocking revelations of the season. Audra, relying on her intuition, uncovers clues that lead her directly to the rendezvous. She witnesses the closeness between Phyllis and Nick in a way that confirms her worst fears. The scene is electric with tension, blending heartbreak, anger, and a sense of betrayal that cuts to the core. Audra's reaction is immediate and forceful. She confronts both Phyllis and Nick in a series of emotionally charged interactions that escalate the drama to new heights. The confrontation is raw, unfiltered, and impossible to ignore, highlighting the stakes of desire, loyalty, and moral conflict. Phyllis, caught in the crossfire, alternates between defensiveness and vulnerability. She reveals the depth of her feelings for Nick, explaining that her actions are not entirely calculated but driven by passion she can no longer suppress. This confession shocks both Nick and Audra, creating a maelstrom of emotion that threatens to upend the carefully maintained balance of relationships in Genoa City. Nick, torn between the undeniable attraction he feels for Phyllis and his loyalty to Audra, faces the ultimate test. Early spoilers suggest that his choices during this confrontation will have lasting consequences, forcing him to examine his heart, his desires, and his commitment. Every word he utters and every gesture he makes is charged with emotion, suspense, and the weight of potential betrayal, leaving viewers on edge. The drama doesn't end there. A shocking couple swap twist emerges as the intensity of the confrontation forces Audra to make a bold, unexpected move. She initiates a series of strategic maneuvers, challenging both Phyllis and Nick in ways that shift the romantic dynamics dramatically. Alliances are questioned, loyalties are tested, and the balance of desire and trust tips in unpredictable directions. Genoa City itself feels the reverberations as whispers, speculation, and intrigue spread through friends, family, and social circles. As the week progresses, the trio experiences a series of emotional highs and lows. Phyllis and Nick share moments of heated tension, fleeting intimacy, and charged dialogue, while Audra asserts her presence with courage, intelligence, and passion. The interplay of seduction, confrontation, and emotional vulnerability creates a storyline that is as unpredictable as it is compelling. Each character's choices ripple outward, affecting not only their relationships, but also the broader social landscape of Genoa City. Secondary characters are drawn into the drama as well, whether through inadvertent discoveries, gossip, or well-intentioned interventions. These interactions add layers of complexity, heightening suspense, and keeping viewers guessing about the ultimate outcomes. Every scene is fraught with the possibility of revelation, confrontation, or betrayal, ensuring that no character is immune to the unfolding chaos. Already suspicious, becomes aware of the developing situation through a series of accidental discoveries. Late-night messages, missed calls, and subtle but telling behaviors lead her to uncover the clandestine connection between Phyllis and Nick. Her shock quickly transforms into determination as she resolves not to be a passive bystander in the drama. The storyline intensifies as Audra plans her next move, balancing confrontation with strategic maneuvering, ensuring she remains a formidable presence despite the chaos surrounding her. Phyllis, emboldened by her connection with Nick, begins orchestrating scenarios designed to test his loyalties and push boundaries further. Her mix of calculated charm, vulnerability, and raw desire keeps Nick on edge, igniting both anticipation and guilt in equal measure. Early spoilers suggest that one of these encounters will occur in a highly public or unexpected setting, raising the stakes and heightening the tension for all involved. Nick faces the ultimate emotional dilemma. Torn between the thrill of passion with Phyllis and the steady love he shares with Audra, he struggles with guilt, desire, and the fear of losing everything. Every glance, word, and touch becomes loaded with meaning, creating suspense that leaves viewers captivated. Spoilers indicate that Nick's choices in the coming scenes will dramatically alter the course of the love triangle, forcing him to confront the consequences of forbidden desire. Audra, refusing to allow deception to dictate her fate, launches a bold confrontation. In a series of charged dialogues, she challenges both Phyllis and Nick, demanding clarity, accountability, and honesty. These confrontations are emotionally intense, blending anger, heartbreak, and fierce determination. Her assertive stance shifts the balance of power, compelling both Phyllis and Nick to respond in ways that reveal their deepest feelings and vulnerabilities. The secret romantic swap twist propels the storyline into uncharted territory. An unplanned but highly charged interaction forces Phyllis and Audra into an uneasy alignment, while Nick becomes the fulcrum of desire, jealousy, and uncertainty. This twist reshapes the romantic landscape, creating new tensions, rivalries, and strategic maneuvers. Every character must navigate a web of temptation, loyalty, and emotional risk, with the potential for scandal growing by the hour. Secondary characters amplify the drama through observation, gossip, and interference. Friends and colleagues notice changes, pick up on subtle hints, and add pressure to an already volatile situation. Their involvement ensures that secrecy is nearly impossible, and every action by Phyllis, Nick, or Audra carries significant consequence. The city itself becomes a participant in the drama as whispers and speculation spread through Genoa City's social networks. The week builds toward an unforgettable confrontation. A highly charged scene, possibly at a social gathering or business event, forces all three characters to face one another, with emotions running high, secrets on the verge of exposure, and desires threatening to erupt. The combination of passion, betrayal, and revelation creates a moment that will have lasting implications, leaving viewers on the edge of their seats. By the end of this page part, the love triangle has reached an unprecedented level of intensity. Loyalties are tested, emotions are raw, and the consequences of forbidden desire loom large. Genoa City is buzzing as fans anticipate the next shocking twist. Who will act on their passion, who will make a decisive move, and who will be left devastated by the unfolding scandal. Early spoilers promise that the answers will be both shocking and emotionally charged, setting the stage for weeks of drama, romance, and scandal.